So in socialist circles, there's always been this question, dichotomy between reform and revolution. Do you just try to tweak the system that we have right now to make it like a little bit more friendly, a little bit more amenable and viable, or is that even possible? Do you have to just like scrap the whole thing, break it, start anew? And DSA doesn't. We don't think of it really as a strict binary. We don't know what like revolution would even look like. Revolution is kind of just a series of reforms, right? But there are reforms that can work.
Well, in America, revolution means we all grab a gun and then go out and kill people.
We're not talking about that, but reforms can sometimes serve to prop up the system that we're fighting against.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, lots of like social spending programs or welfare programs that started with the New Deal and everything were really great for many people, and pulled a lot of people out of really dire straits. But also, what it did was serve to justify the basic structure of American society at a time when that basic structure was under threat from, the communist menace from Russia and the Reds and the
organized labor.
And organized labor, which was actually organized and organized pretty well before it was busted, and you had a huge mass of people who were extremely agitated because they had been screwed over by the system. And so these reforms actually kind of saved the system, and which was good for a while. We had a couple of decades of relative prosperity, but the problem with saving the system is that you left it in place so that it could pull those reforms away whenever it wanted to, which happened to be the 1980s. So and thereafter. So
then spending became the new thing.
Yeah. So in DSA we think about like what reforms actually will stick. What reforms don't just like prop up the system, but which reforms actually like transform the system.
Yeah, it's not just a matter of which ones will stick too, but to give a recent example of the Affordable Care Act, right, did a lot of good things, but there's also this huge giveaway to the insurance companies, so it's just reinforcing capitalism and their greed and, trying to keep it within bounds so people tolerate it, right, in a moment after 2008 when, people were really pissed off and, pretty much ready to rise up against the system. And at that point, it's like, we'll give you a little bit, but within the constraints of capitalism.
So it sounds like you're aware of the risk that something like Medicare for All could haphazardly and hypothetically and completely in theory somehow further enrich the insurance companies in some way because
I don't think we have a system that isn't abused.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like I don't know exactly how policy-wise that could work, but
complicated. Who knew? Healthcare is a complicated.
Yeah.